Hello, dear souls. Thank you for joining me in this quiet evening hour. There's something sacred about meeting you here in the stillness of night. Tonight, I want to explore something many of you may have experienced: sleep paralysis. Perhaps it remains in your memory as a frightening encounter, but what if we could look at this mysterious experience through a different lens? What if there's deeper meaning waiting to be discovered? Sleep paralysis, that moment when your body feels impossibly heavy, when you cannot move or speak, when shadows seem to dance at the edges of your vision. We often label this as either a supernatural encounter, or dismiss it as merely a sleep disorder, but the truth may be far more nuanced than either explanation. From a spiritual perspective, sleep paralysis represents a threshold, a doorway between the physical and the ethereal, between conscious awareness and the deeper mysteries of consciousness itself. When this threshold appears, your body temporarily releases its usual control. This isn't something to fear, but rather a signal that your consciousness is preparing for what we might call a journey beyond the physical. Your spirit is momentarily loosening its ties to the material world. Think back to your own experiences. After episodes of sleep paralysis, have you noticed particularly vivid or meaningful dreams? Dreams of flying, encounters with departed loved ones, or journeys to unknown realms. These aren't random hallucinations. They may be your soul's way of exploring expanded states of awareness. Science explains sleep paralysis as a state where REM sleep and waking consciousness overlap. Your body remains in sleep mode while your mind begins to wake. This creates a unique neurological situation that can produce unusual perceptions. But here's what science doesn't fully explain. Why do so many people report similar sensations of presence, of shadows, of otherworldly encounters during these episodes? From a spiritual viewpoint, the frightening figures, or dark shadows that sometimes accompany sleep paralysis might represent what Carl Jung called our shadow self, the unconscious fears, unprocessed emotions, and unhealed aspects of our psyche, seeking acknowledgement and integration. In this light, sleep paralysis becomes less about external threats and more about internal healing, a mysterious process where your consciousness encounters and has the opportunity to transform its own hidden fears. If you experience sleep paralysis again, I invite you to try something different. Instead of fighting the paralysis or feeding the fear, breathe gently and silently affirm, "I am protected. I am surrounded by light." Often, this shift in your energetic state can transform the entire experience. Sleep paralysis isn't meant to torment you. Rather, it may be what spiritual traditions call a consciousness expansion experience, a brief glimpse into the reality that your awareness extends far beyond your physical body. The mysterious experiences in your life are rarely accidents. They often appear as invitations to deeper understanding, as opportunities to expand your perception of what's possible. Rather than ending these experiences in fear, consider them opportunities for healing. The shadows you encounter during sleep paralysis might represent parts of yourself asking to be acknowledged, understood, and ultimately transformed into light. Our world consists of both visible and invisible layers of reality. Sleep paralysis occurs during moments when these boundaries become thin, suggesting that you may be developing sensitivity to expanded states of consciousness. The fear you felt might be preparing you for greater courage. The shadows you saw might be energies ready for transformation, and that moment of physical stillness might have been your soul, preparing for a much greater journey. However, I want to be very clear about something important. If sleep paralysis is significantly disrupting your sleep or causing ongoing distress in your daily life, please consider speaking with a healthcare professional. Sometimes our bodies need practical support alongside spiritual understanding. There are medical approaches that can help reduce the frequency of sleep paralysis episodes, improving sleep hygiene, managing stress, addressing underlying sleep disorders, or other treatments your doctor might recommend. The spiritual perspective I'm sharing isn't meant to replace medical care, but to offer an additional lens through which you might find meaning and reduce fear around these experiences. Some people find that practices like meditation, energy clearing, or working with a spiritual counselor can complement medical approaches beautifully. The goal is your overall well-being, both physical and spiritual. Whether you choose to explore the spiritual dimensions of sleep paralysis, or focus primarily on the physiological aspects, what matters most is that you feel empowered and supported in your healing journey. Remember this truth: you are never alone in these experiences. Whether we understand sleep paralysis through neuroscience, spirituality, or both, you have the inner strength to navigate these mysterious moments. With grace and wisdom, may your nights be filled with peaceful rest, and may any unusual experiences become doorways to greater self-understanding rather than sources of fear. Thank you for sharing this contemplative time with me. Until we meet again, I'm sending you gentle light for your journey.